Welcome to Sean Can't Cook, but John Can. Sean and I have been actors for many years, but I assure you, this is no act. He really can't cook. I'm going to teach Sean and you at home how to feel more comfortable in the kitchen, preparing tasty recipes that even the most novice of cooks can create. I will show you step by step how to construct each dish so that when your friends come over, they'll ask, "How'd you learn how to make that?" If you already know how to cook, I hope you'll find a few recipes to add to your repertoire. Let's see what's on today's menu. Hello, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 1. It's our premiere episode.
Yay!
Of Sean Can't Cook, but John Can.
I really can't.
He really can't. Today we're going to make a banana, carrot, applesauce, raisin, nut quick bread. We're calling it everything but the kitchen sink quick bread because, well, there's a lot of stuff in it. But don't be intimidated by that. We're going to show you exactly, step by step, how to put this together. It'll be delicious, trust me.
Well, you're going to show it because I can't cook.
I'm going to show you,
Yes.
and I'm going to show you. We're going to mix up some dry ingredients in a separate bowl, some wet ingredients in a separate bowl. We're going to combine those, and then we're going to add the husky ingredients at the end so that it doesn't tear up the bread. But before we get started, let's take a look through the Sean Cam at the ingredients we'll be using. For today's quick bread, here are the ingredients that you will need. For the wet ingredients, you will need 1 mashed banana, 1/2 cup of vegetable oil, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract, 1/2 cup of unsweetened applesauce, and 2 large eggs. For the dry ingredients, we will need 1.5 cups of all-purpose flour, 3/4 of a cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of baking powder. Don't get baking powder and soda mixed up. You'll need 1 teaspoon of baking powder and 1/4 of a teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, 1/4 of a teaspoon of nutmeg, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And the last ingredients you will need are 2 medium-sized carrots shredded, 2/3 of a cup of chopped nuts, and 1/3 of a cup of raisins. And the equipment that you will need is 1 large bowl for the dry ingredients with a sifter, 1 whisk, 1 spatula, and a small bowl for the wet ingredients. That's it. Let's make some quick bread. Welcome back. Now that you know what goes into the quick bread, let's show you how to put it all together. First, we're going to start with the dry ingredients. So, the flour into the sifter, dump it in,
Okay.
follow along.
I've never used a sifter before in my life.
So here's the thing, if you don't have a sifter or you forgot to buy one, you were going to get one for the show, it's okay if you don't. You can still mix it without, you can take a whisk and just whisk it, but it's okay if you don't.
So what do I do?
The sugar goes in,
Okay. Sure.
and then we put this attractively for you, so it's a little awkward for us to get this in, but we'll just figure this out as we go. Just sort of.
It's really pretty.
It's pretty, but it's not now anymore.
Oh, I don't want to mess it up.
Everything in there goes
Oh
in.
God.
So all the dry ingredients go
So
together.
why are we sifting this and not just putting it into the bowl?
So as I said, you don't have to sift, but it does break up the clumps of any. It's the flour, the sugar, the spices could have clumps. It breaks all of that up. It helps to aerate the flour. It makes it a little bit lighter. Although we're not making an angel food cake today. We're making a bread, and it's a little bit heavier.
So why is this called a quick bread?
You can start sifting while we're
Okay.
doing this. There's no yeast.
Oh, what does yeast do? Oh, I'm making a mess.
Yeast, that's all right. It's a little cloudy here. But that's okay. But see, you've got some of these left over, and that's okay. You can get rid of those. Dump them out.
Oh, that's a little fun. Did I do
That's
that?
fine. Did you do what?
Make this cloud?
I think we both did. That's okay. It's a cinnamon, baking soda, flour.
So
sugar.
what do I do with all the bits?
So
here?
sometimes you could just sort of rub your fingers through that. And that'll push the smaller pieces through. And then if there's a little bit left, yeah, you can take it out. It really wouldn't hurt if it was in. But you know what? We're going to take it out.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just going to say bye.
So what makes this a quick bread?
There's no yeast.
Right.
I said that, remember?
I know, but then we got derailed.
Yeah, I know. But we're back on track.
Hi.
There's no yeast. We're using baking powder and baking soda. Yeast gives it the lift, makes it rise. Sometimes other things you can do are use beaten egg whites to give things rise. So we're using baking soda and baking powder.
Okay.
So dry ingredients are done.
Oh, that was easy. Look how easy this is.
It's easy.
Dry ingredients.
Now we're going to put the wet ingredients together. We've got the 2 eggs.
Okay.
Go in.
So I have a confession. I don't like cracking eggs.
He doesn't. That's why these are pre-cracked.
Because I'm not going to do it.
He won't do it.
I'm scared.
He won't do it. I don't know what he's scared of, but he's scared
I
of
am
something.
scared. So what are we dumping in right now?
We got the eggs. This is the oil and the vanilla.
The vanilla. And you like using real vanilla, right?
Yes, don't use imitation vanilla. You can skimp on a lot of things. Imitation vanilla just...
So I was sent to the store today to get real vanilla and not imitation vanilla, and I
you
checked
saw
it.
some imitation.
Yeah, I did, and I checked the box like 500 times before I left the store. I was like, he's going to kill me if I get the wrong stuff.
No. So in goes that.
Okay.
And
so here's this.
This is the side. Thank you.
Okay.
I have a dishwasher also.
Yes.
So.
It's kind of a mess. Oh, you put the banana in. No, you did.
Yes.
Oh, you did.
The banana goes in too. So you just start whisking, break up the eggs, get everything homogenized as much as possible. Oops, and I forgot something. So.
Oh, I saw that
this
out
is
there.
the beauty of cooking. You can just keep going.
Okay.
It doesn't hurt.
Now, you're using
Process.
applesauce, but you could use something else? Maybe? Or you like to use applesauce in your stuff, right?
I do that just for a little bit of healthy benefits. It's not as much oil. I'm cutting out some of the oil.
That's what it is.
So if you, if you were making this and thought, oh gosh, he told me to get applesauce and I forgot to get applesauce, well, just use a cup of oil instead of half and half.
So you just moved to the whisk. When do I move to the whisk?
Oh, yeah, you don't need that spatula. That'll come later.
Oh.
The whisk will...
Paying no attention to what I'm doing. All right. So
follow me.
Not me.
Watch him.
So what am I
this
doing?
might be blocking the view. So
Okay.
There we go. So you want to get this mixed up. So let's homogenize.
Here's another one of these.
Oh, thank you.
So I've also never used a whisk before, believe it or not. So what are you doing?
It's stirring. You can do this to break up the eggs until it looks like this.
Yours looks great. Mine looks.
It'll get there.
Like
Don't worry. It'll get
mess.
there. So then we're just going to pour these in here. That's okay. Right. You're new to this.
I'm very new to this.
No act here, folks. Boy can't cook. So we're done with that. Get that out of the way in our tiny little kitchen. Then what you want to do is sort of fold and stir. Keep going. Keep going.
Not done yet?
No, that looks good. That's good.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
What about the clumpy lumpies?
That's all right. That's the bananas. That's fine.
So what do I do with this? Get rid of it? We don't need it again?
Nope, we're good.
We're good.
So he pays attention so well.
So now what do I do?
So put the wet into the dry bowl.
The wet into the dry bowl?
Yes.
Okay.
Dump that in. And so you want to stir.
Do I use him now?
Yep.
Okay.
Choose him or her now.
Oh, him or her.
So you just want to stir. And this isn't a batter. So if you can see, this is a little bit thick, and that's good. That's what you want.
So is it possible to overwork this stuff?
Yes. It'll be too tough if you do. So you don't want to mix it in too much. You want to make
No one likes a tough, quick bread.
No tough, quick breads here. So you want to keep folding, stirring until you don't see any traces of flour.
Oh, okay.
So just keep stirring. It'll get there. Trust me. Doesn't take long.
So what is folding?
Folding is when you're using like egg whites or whipped cream, and you want to sort of go down the middle and up and over. You want to be gentle so that you're not deflating. We don't have any egg whites beaten here, so or whipped cream. Although that sounds good.
It does sound good.
We can put that on top when you're done.
Now you make your own whipped cream though.
Oh yes,
yeah.
That's another recipe, another issue, another episode. So, Kind of Magazine, we're a TV show.
How do I speed this up here?
Yeah, you're doing fine.
Okay.
Just keep folding, stirring until you don't see the flour.
Okay.
Once that's done, you want to add the carrots, the nuts, and the raisins.
Now, can't the flour get stuck on the bottom?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can check
Oh,
by
that's
lifting
right.
it up and looking.
Oh,
And see, I can't do that, obviously.
you're the pro, so you don't need to.
So you just want to stir in the carrots and the raisins and the nuts.
Wow, that's starting to smell really good. I just had to smell.
This is why it's never going to get done, because he is smelling everything.
I'm not making an art project out of this yet. Sorry.
Oh my gosh, this is fun.
Is it?
So again, you try it. Well, I hope so. Tell them it's fun.
It's fun. That means so much
fun.
fun.
That's good. So you want to just keep stirring, folding, until everything's pretty evenly blended. Again, you're not doing this in a mixer, so it's the chances of it getting overmixed are very slim. But mine is done. It's folded. Everything's evenly dispersed. The raisins, the carrots, the nuts.
Ooh. I had a question for you.
Sure.
So, can you substitute, like the raisins or the carrots for something else if you don't like those things?
Yeah, if you hate raisins, and a lot of people do, you can put in dried cranberries.
Oh.
Carrots, you could use shredded zucchini.
Mm-hmm.
The raisins, people really have a love-hate relationship with them. You could even just leave the raisins out.
So what do you think? Is that they do it?
Yeah, I mean, just make sure that there's no flour on the bottom.
Pretty
That
good.
looks good. Right.
Okay.
So now you can add the carrots and the nuts and the raisins. We'll wait for him to catch
Oh
up
God,
a
you
little
scared
bit.
me. I thought you were like, oh stop.
No,
I was like, no, we gotta put the carrots in.
No, you're doing
Okay.
fine. You're doing
Okay.
fine. Oh, the pans, if you need to know how to prep them, we have another video you can watch on prepping your pans. They're floured and buttered. Buttered first, then floured. I should say that in that order. Buttered and floured. These are 9x5 inch loaf pans. These are metal. You can use glass, either or. I use both. I have both. If you use glass, lower the temperature of the oven instead of 350 degrees, which we're going to bake these at, to 325 degrees. Glass conducts heat much faster, and things tend to burn in that. So while he's still mixing, I'm going to show you how to put it in the pan. It's kind of hard to do this in reverse for the audience, but we're going
Want some help?
to try. No, this is good. Because you're going to do your own.
Look how expertly done this is.
And he's going to do his just as
Oh
expertly.
God.
So you just scoop it all in. It'll even itself out as it goes. You can smooth it into the corners a little bit.
It's kind of zen, sort of mixing this.
See? That's why I'm so peaceful. Now you know my secret.
So, like, how many quick breads have you made?
Wow. This is not rehearsed, folks, by the way, 'cause I didn't know that question was coming.
Just roll with it.
I would say...
Like, you made a lot of quick breads.
Well, for Christmas a few years ago, we made some. I made some, I guess, because you weren't cooking them. But now we can make them.
Yeah, now we can.
So I would say a few hundred loaves in my lifetime. I've been
That's-
cooking since I was 12 or so, and I'm 57. I'm over 50. I'm proud of it. So you want to smooth it into the corners, get it
Okay.
nice and level. It's not going to fill up the pan because it's going to bake. You need room for it to bake.
And your mother's really the baker.
Oh yeah. This is where I learned it all. So
So,
how are we doing over here?
I think I'm okay. How'd that
looks
look?
good. Did you do like a final scrape on the bottom? Make sure there's no flour.
I had done that earlier.
Okay.
But,
Perfect.
you know,
I think it looks
what
good.
the heck?
It looks like this. This looks like this. If it didn't, I wouldn't be a very good teacher and you wouldn't watch. So into the pan it goes.
Okay, so how did you... This bowl is huge.
Yeah. If you're
This is hard to do.
if you're too uncomfortable to show the audience what you're doing, you can do it towards you. I think you can do this.
I don't know. I dropped... How did you do this
I
without
held it up there.
dropping
Yep,
the
there you
who
go. There you go.
thing? Yeah.
Again, if you're doing this at home, you can do it towards you.
Yeah, I don't
You're
do
not-
this presentation by myself. Oh, look, phantom person.
Into there. We're on a time crunch here. I don't know why I said that, but yeah, this is perfect. This is easy. It's the other reason it's quick is because it just all comes together. There's no when you use yeast, it has to rise.
Mhm.
It's called proofing in the bowl. Then you punch it down, form it into a loaf. That takes time. This is much quicker. The baking soda, baking powder makes it rise. Baking soda is added when you have acidic ingredients. There's not a lot of acidic ingredients here. Raisins, carrots, grains can be a little acidic, so that's why I added just a quarter of a teaspoon. So it's looking good.
So, I was going to ask you a question. I forgot
Okay.
what it was.
Well, then we won't worry about that.
We won't worry about it.
Maybe at the break we'll figure that out. So, into the pan they go. This looks good. You can also give it a little tap or two that takes out some of the air bubbles, but it's a quick bread.
Oh, I had my question. I remember.
Okay. Yay.
So like, you don't want this quick bread to be too wet.
Meaning?
Like, the carrots have a lot of moisture, right, and stuff.
Yeah,
so, like,
yeah. I mean,
what's a good way to make sure you don't make a really heavy bread?
Well, again, this is going to be heavy. I mean, this isn't angel food cake, as we said. This is a quick bread. It's got some carrots and some hefty ingredients. It's almost like a carrot cake, although I've got a great recipe for that. That's a future episode. So, I mean, just the carrots should be medium sized. They shouldn't be too large. The applesauce and oil balance out the moisture, so we're good. So that looks good. So these are going to go in the oven for 50 to 60 minutes. We're going to check them at 45. Every oven is different. Temperature, humidity can all affect this. So check them at 45 to see if they're done with the toothpick. We're going to show you how to do that after they come out of the oven. So let's get the oven going and get some quick breads baking. See you soon. So here we are at the 45-minute mark, and I just wanted to show you a toothpick inserted into the middle is still a little bit wet. That's not good. It's not done. So we're going to put them back in for about 5 more minutes and test them then. Okay, so this has been about 50 minutes. And as you can see, when you put the toothpick in now, it comes out perfectly clean. You might see a couple of little pieces on it, but there's no raw batter, which is what you're checking for. And I usually like to stab around a few places just to make sure. See, no batter, so they're good to go. Now we'll put them on a wire rack to cool for 10 minutes. Welcome back. As you saw from the toothpick test, these came out clean. So they've been cooling on the racks for about 10 minutes. Mm-hmm. So now we're going to take them out of the pans. So the easiest way to do that, grab a butter knife. You don't want to scratch up the pans. Also, so you can see a good way to tell when they're done. When they pull away from the sides a little bit, that's a good indication of a cake or bread being done. So you just want to run it around the edge to loosen anything that might have stuck. But because you buttered and floured these very well in that other video, they should be good. So you run that around. These are still a little warm. The bottom is really hot, so be careful. I'm kind of used to this, so they're shaking out a little bit already, so that's a good sign. I usually just take it, and we're going to wait for you to catch up so we can show you this together.
I've decided to call this the releasing of the breads.
The releasing of the breads.
We're gonna make them free.
Doesn't it smell good in here?
It smells amazing.
Oh,
this is hard to do.
I know. I want to eat this.
All right.
So you could just take, if you want, and just flip it on to the wire rack, if that's easier for you. If you feel more comfortable, take this. Again, it gets a little warm, so just grab it on the bottom, flip it under your hand, and flip it there. See? Look, perfect.
No soggy bottoms.
Oh boy, we're gonna get in trouble for
We're
that.
totally gonna get in trouble for that.
If they watch, which that would be lovely if they watch. We all know who they are. So anyway, these are out. They've now got to cool for about an hour.
That long?
Yeah, it's better.
Man.
Truth be told, I've been known to cut into these right away if I'm hungry enough, and I am now. But we're gonna let them sit for about 30 minutes at least, maybe an hour. You can cut into them now. They'll be a little gummier when you cut them, but that's okay. They're actually good warm. But we're going to let them sit for 30 minutes. We'll say 30 minutes, we're going to let these sit. We'll come back, we'll cut these, and show you how good they are to us, and then you can make them home, and you'll know how good they are too. So we'll be right back.
See you soon.
Welcome back. We are finished. They are done. They've been cooling for about 30 minutes, so we're going to cut into them and eat. He's still smelling everything, which is fine. So we're going to cut into these now and eat them. Okay. So, they're nice and warm still, which is great.
Ooh, there's some like resistance.
This is not angel food cake, as we said. So, as you can see, some raisins, some nuts, some carrots. It's all there. I prefer the end piece,
My
actually.
gosh.
So while
Look.
he's still cutting and doing his, and
Oh.
look, his is the same as mine. They look exactly the same. So my mouth is literally watering.
I love the end piece too. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
So I can't believe that all that stuff in all those bowls and all that stuff makes this. It's amazing.
He has said that to me many times. He's like, I can't believe you take these ingredients and this is what you make. So he made this. You know what?
Oh, it's really good.
Let's see if it's any different.
It's gonna taste the same.
Are you sure?
It's the same.
Did you forget something?
No.
I guess if you did, it would be my fault. So,
Oh my
sorry, I'm
gosh.
talking with you in mouthful of food. But
Yeah. It's so good. And plus, I'm really hungry.
they're moist, but they're not wet. They're flavorful. It's kind of healthy.
You know, I have to confess, I'm really not a raisin fan. But when these raisins are cooked in this, they're always better than like a fistful of raisins.
I know a lot of people hate raisins or they love them. So we've already talked about that. So.
I know.
Anyway, thank you so much for enduring with us and watching us for our first episode. We hope you will join us next week on Sean Can Cook with John Can for another delicious, tasty, easy to follow along with recipe that you can make at home because guess what? This guy made this. So if he made this, you can make this. We'll see you next time. Need some milk.
It's right here.
Oh my gosh, go grab it.
I'll get it. So good.